Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi, good morning. Happy Monday. It is July 17th.
We're holding right around 80 degrees out at San Antonio International. Let's go outside with live cam after a broiler of a weekend. Some of us got some sun in the last couple days, and one of those people would be Mia Montgomery.
Yes, very much so. Went down to the beach last weekend and it was fun, but yes, it was very, very hot. And of course, here in San Antonio, it has been exactly the same with plenty of sunshine and of course the humidity. And it is a little humid out there this morning, but the good news is I think as we head into the afternoon, we should see a slight break in some of that humidity. Dew points could drop a touch, which would help with those heat index values later on this afternoon. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Right now, though, upper 70s, low 80s in and around the San Antonio metro. Most of us were able to fall into the 70s earlier today, so that is a little bit of better news to kick off this Monday. 81 right now over the airport, 79 in Bulverde, 79 on the east side in Converse, currently 77 out west in Uvalde. Now, as we head into this Monday afternoon, plenty of sunshine is expected. Who's surprised? And temperatures are once again going to climb into the triple digits. 99 by 2 p.m., 104 is the forecast high here in San Antonio. But with those dew points coming down ever so slightly, feels like temperatures should not stray too far away from the actual air temperature. But you can see with our heat high still in control over the next several days, record challenging heat continues. Later on this weekend, we could shave off a degree or two, so we'll keep eyes on that as well as the potential for a stray shower. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but first, let's head over to Steven for a check at the roads.
Sunglasses and sunscreen are the vibe, Mia. Thank you. Let's get a look here at 35 northbound at FM 1103. Things aren't looking too great out over here. We do have a crash that has been reported, and I am seeing a little bit of a backup take place. Red and orange seem to be the color out there, which indicates that we do have some bumper-to-bumper vehicles along 35 northbound. Be on the lookout. There's no word yet if there were any injuries reported or how many vehicles are involved. As always, we hope everyone is doing okay, but traffic is already starting to pick up out there as we give you a wider view of our map. Now, back here in town, it's not really too much of an issue, but you see that traffic along the northbound lanes of I-35 outside Loop 1604 is moving at just 8 miles per hour. So very slow moving traffic through that area, and that's because there is a lot of construction that tends to take place out there. And as a quick reminder, there will be more construction happening here along FM 1535, otherwise known as Northwest Military Highway. Curb and sidewalk installation will wrap up on Friday, July 21st, but this work will take us all the way till 6 in the evening. Alternating lane closures along Loop 1604 to Huebner Road is what you can expect. But as I mentioned, we always want you to know what to expect before you hit the road. Scan this QR code. There is a lot of helpful information on our website at ksat.com/traffic. Whole bunch of closures happening this month, so we'll have that posted on our website, and always good to know what to expect before you have to hit the roads. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Here's today's 9 at 9.
A second attack on Russia's Crimea bridge has left 2 people dead and 1 person seriously injured. Russian officials are calling this an emergency situation. Russia blamed Ukraine for the first attack last October. The peninsula was annexed by Russia years ago. Ukraine plans to win it back.
The man accused of killing 4 people in a Georgia neighborhood is dead after a shootout with law enforcement yesterday afternoon. Andre Longmore opened fire on Saturday morning, killing 3 men and a woman. All of the victims were in their 60s. Investigators have not determined a motive for the deadly shooting. They say Longmore did live in the neighborhood and had stolen one of the victims' vehicles.
Extreme weather continues to impact millions of Americans. The death toll in Philadelphia is expected to rise after a flood over the weekend killed 5 people, and the heat turning deadly, killing a biker in San Diego County. Triple-digit temperatures also here in Texas. Experts are now saying the U.S. could set more temperature records by the end of today.
Millions of people are under an air quality alert today, including the entire state of New York. Officials there classifying the air quality as unhealthy for all. The problem comes from the smoke of wildfires that continue to burn in Canada.
An Alabama woman who had not been seen since Thursday has been found alive and safe. Police say 25-year-old Carly Russell called 911 to report a child walking alone on the interstate. She then called a family member who heard a scream and lost contact with Russell. Police found her belongings, but no sight of Carly. She returned home Saturday night, and an investigation is underway.
A woman who was kidnapped in Mexico 8 months ago is now headed back home. The FBI said Monica De Leon Barbara was kidnapped in Jalisco while walking her dog. The agency said her captors released her on Thursday night, and so far, there have been no arrests made.
There's growing hope on Wall Street today that the Federal Reserve may pull off what many thought was impossible, slowing down inflation without sending the economy into a recession. The Consumer Price Index showing inflation at 3% during the month of June, and the S&P rose 2.4% last week, making its biggest gain in a month.
Pilots at United Airlines could soon see their salaries soar. This comes after a preliminary contract deal that would push raises up to 40%. Delta and American Airlines recently cut deals that included substantial raises for pilots as well.
Although there was no big winner for the full Powerball jackpot, 2 people from Texas are waking up millionaires today, matching 5 of the 6 numbers drawn Saturday night. $1 million ticket was purchased in Katy, the other in Frisco. According to the Associated Press, this is the 7th largest Powerball jackpot in U.S. lottery history. The next drawing for the $900 million Powerball jackpot is tonight. And that's today's 9 at 9.
80 morning headlines. A town in mourning over the weekend after the shooting took the life of a police officer. And another move concerning JFK document brings up more questions.
A salt cave getting attention for what some believe is a healing method, and an otter has a lot of folks on the coast of California all in a lather. David Steers is here with all of our morning headlines.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This little otter is driving people nuts in California. It's kind of funny, but we'll see what happens with she's something else. Show you that in just a second. But first, a sad weekend for the community of Fargo, North Dakota, after a gunman opened fire on police and firefighters who responded to a crash scene. 3 officers were shot, 2 wounded, and 1 was killed. The officer killed was Jake Wallen. He was only 23 years old and had just joined the force a few months ago after serving in the military.
He was a member of our family, and he's been taken from us far too soon. And it's a tragedy. Our condolences, our heartfelt sympathies go out to Jake Wallen's family, his friends. Please keep all of them in your thoughts and prayers in the days going forward. It's an unconscionable act. It's hard to fathom. It's unbelievable that something like this would happen in our community. And many of us think a lot of stuff can't happen. And this happened.
By the way, there were 2 civilians injured, but they should be okay. The shooter was taken out by a Fargo police officer. They are still trying to figure out motive. They do know he was not involved in the accident. Former President John F. Kennedy assassinated November 22nd, 1963. To this day, there are still questions about that assassination. Recently, President Biden ordered thousands of documents remain sealed, and a judge upheld that order. All this did was bring up more questions. According to the New York Times, there are 4,684 documents partially or fully withheld from the public. And according to Jefferson Morale, editor of the blog JFK Facts, those secret documents could contain information about the CIA's investigation before JFK's death. Morley says there is a name that was not known until some documents were made public, Reuben Efron. He worked for the CIA, was intercepting Lee Harvey Oswald's mail over a period of months before the assassination. Morley believes the CIA was running some kind of operation around Oswald while Kennedy was still alive. Oswald is the accused assassin, and now that Biden has washed his hands of the document controversy, it's up to individual agencies to decide if more documents should be released. We know the Middle East is an arid desert climate, but in the United Arab Emirates, they have a salt cave that is believed to be full of natural healing remedies. The cave is man-made. There are several remedies that are offered, such as halotherapy sessions. You inhale salt-filled air. Some visitors swear by the effects. They say the salt cave helps them breathe better. Also praised by some for improving their skin. There are some skeptics of the benefits, though, like doctors. They say it should be a therapy recommended by a doctor as a part of a regimen. Now, if you look real close, that's an otter. Look at the face. Look at the smile in that other little mischievous looking, laughing inside. Yeah, the otter is having a good time with surfers off the coast of California, approaching them, even taking chunks out of their surfboards, even climbing on them. She has California Fish and Wildlife concerned about her actions. Now, the only thing they can really come up with is to capture the mischievous critter and relocate her. She's just called 841, and there are those who disagree with moving her to another area, like surfer Joseph Wilcox. He wants to keep her free.
Every time humans come across some nature that doesn't act their way or, acts like nature, we got to put it in a cage and, take it somewhere. This is where she belongs. This is her home. This is our home. We can share it. And yeah, watch out for the otters.
Obviously, the ocean is her home. Everyone who's in there is a visitor. But unless everyone's willing to stay out of the water, which I think is unlikely, capturing her is the only way we see this issue resolving.
I'm kind of with Joseph a little bit, The otter was there long before surfers showed up, right?
Right.
So, poor otter got to be packed up and moved. Oh, she's just having some fun. Let me surf. Let me get on your board. Yeah, look at.
If you really want that otter off your board, I just didn't look like much of an effort to get the.
No, look at her. She's like laying back on that.
Having a snack before going back to surfing.
Yeah.
This is my world. You're just living in it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep her there.
I think so.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but we are looking from afar, though. We're not out there. I don't know how friendly of a surfing buddy she is.
Maybe the surfers should go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
An argument could be made.
Just saying.
All right, David, thank you. Right now, 9:09, 80 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Summertime can be a struggle for so many families in and around our community, and it's a busy time for the San Antonio Food Bank as well. Max Massey joins us live in just a few moments to talk about the special programs this summer and how you can step up and help.
Twitter facing more challenges, what Elon Musk is saying about the company's latest revenue. The summer can be a difficult time for so many families. Higher air conditioning costs because of the heat and school is out. That may mean less free or reduced cost meals for some children.
To help combat hunger, the San Antonio Food Bank has multiple programs in place. Max Massey joins us live from the Mays Family Culinary Center. Max, what's going on?
Good morning, guys. It's more like what's cooking this morning. Thousands and thousands of meals. Joined here with Mary. So, Mary, we know people have been here since dark and early this morning. What is the ultimate goal?
The ultimate goal is making meals for kids, and we are making probably about 12,000 meals just today that's going to go out, prepared fresh food to children in our community.
That is amazing, guys. I want to show you what they're making out here. Take a look. Azian's going to give you an inside look. So what do we got? What are some of the meals we're looking at?
So I think today, right now, they're making spaghetti with meatballs, squash. I think there's peaches in there, always trying to have that healthy mix for those kids.
And Mark and Stephanie talked about the need during the summertime. From your guys' perspective, why is the need so big this summer?
The need is so big this summer because, well, first, we always have that 200,000 student meal gap. So 200,000 students are out of school. We're needing to give them 2 meals a day. So that's 20 million meals. Then you add inflation on top of that. The summer heat, we all know it's so hot outside, so people have high utility bills, and just the pressure is on for parents to provide for their kids.
And so how many people are out here today through the summer stepping up and helping out?
So we rely on 2,000 volunteers a week, just at the minimum level to meet our needs. So here in the kitchen right now, we have over 30 volunteers helping prepare and put these meals together.
That is amazing. What other ways can people step up and help out?
So really the 4 ways to help our summer meals program is going to be food, time, money, and voice. So doing a food drive, and anyone can do that. We can get one of our red food barrels at your location, and that's a great way to collect fun snack items for kids. So doing a food drive, giving the gift of time. These volunteers here are giving us their time. They're taking off work for the day and preparing these meals. Then money. $1 is 7 meals. So we have a 20 million meal goal right now. $1 is 7 meals towards that goal, and we are only halfway to our goal right now. So we got a lot of work to do. And finally, voice. So seeing this, telling people if you know someone who's struggling, we can help them. Any family that's needing help, contact us, and we will link you up with one of our summer meal sites to make sure your kids are getting food this summer.
All right, Mary, thank you so much for your time. Guys, if you have any questions how you can step up and help out, we're going to have so much more information, not only on the news at noon, but of course, KSAT.com. Steph, Mark, back to you guys.
And you look fantastic in a hairnet, Max Massey.
Yes, always. Thanks, Max.
We're out here trying to help, guys.
Yeah, we know.
He's like, I know. Thank you, Max.
He's like, yes, of course I look fabulous.
What's new? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what isn't new, and that is the heat. Yeah. Of course, we had many triple-digit days last week, this past weekend, even tied some records, broke some records, and that record-challenging heat is not going anywhere over the next several days. But a little glimmer of hope, we might be able to see a pattern change next weekend. So we'll hold out for that for sure. But yes, until then, here's a look at our weather headlines, what we're tracking over the next several days as we kick off this work week. As we just mentioned, that record challenging heat is going to continue with more triple digits in the forecast daily. And that's all thanks to that heat high pressure, still very much in control of our weather pattern here in South Central Texas. But later on this week, and especially this weekend, that high pressure system may be able to move ever so slightly west, and that could help shave off a degree or two in terms of our temperatures and maybe introduce an isolated chance for a quick shower before the upcoming weekend is over. So we'll talk all about it, starting off, of course, with a look at current conditions outside right now. It is humid. I do think we'll see some of that humidity drop off a little bit more later on today in the afternoon. 81 right now here in town. We've got a few clouds out there, especially south and east of San Antonio across portions of the coastal plains. 80 in Gonzales, 79 in Hondo, already 84 out west in Del Rio. And as we were talking about, yes, another triple-digit day expected, but not just for us here in San Antonio. Across the majority of the Lone Star State, I do think those thermometers will be able to climb into the low 100s later on this afternoon. It's currently 85 in Waco already. Same stretching over to Abilene, 86 in San Angelo. But where it's already incredibly hot this 9 a.m. hour, 97 in Phoenix, Arizona, 94 in Las Vegas. That's because they are sitting under the center of that heat high pressure system. And what's going to happen over the next couple of days, that's going to move ever so slightly eastward and approach the western portions of Texas, which means our peak high temperatures, at least over the next several days, looks to be today, tomorrow, and into Wednesday. We've got a forecast high of about 104 degrees here in town, and we put on some of the record highs here. Tomorrow, we could tie the record of 104 if that verifies that was set back in 1918. Today, the record is 105, so we could sit just a degree shy of that. But regardless, we'll need to monitor the thermometer pretty closely here over the next several days. Now, here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast throughout the remainder of this Monday. Plenty of sunshine is expected this afternoon. Forecast high temperature around 104 by 4 to 5 p.m. The peak heating time of day. And then later on this evening, still going to be hot if you're stepping out for any Monday evening plans. Those temperatures slowly falling through the 100s and eventually into the 90s later on tonight, 96 by 9 p.m. Now, we mentioned the slight break in the humidity. Those dew points could drop off a bit more this afternoon. That would help because that means that the actual feels like temperature should not stray too far away from the actual air temperature, but it is still going to be a scorcher of a day with those highs in the triple digits in and around the San Antonio area, so definitely be careful out there. And then we mentioned that slight pattern shift later on this week and especially this weekend. If that high pressure system can loosen its grip ever so slightly on us by Saturday and Sunday, that means that we could find a stray chance for an isolated shower, especially by the back half of the weekend. So a little silver lining, something to look forward to. We'll continue to keep you updated on that in the coming days. Until then, it's just all going to be about the heat.
Well, I am looking forward to that. Even if I don't get rain, at least somebody will, and maybe I'll get cloud cover.
We're trending in the right direction.
Yes.
I like your optimism.
Yes, that'll be good.
Yes.
Thank you, Mia.
You bet.
And the oldest and largest licensed nonprofit that accepts and repurposes medical equipment is gearing up for its annual citywide donation drive. So on Thursday, KSAT community partners are coming together for Project Men. KSAT will host a phone bank to collect financial donations to buy more wheelchairs, which is the most requested and needed piece of medical equipment. The phone bank will be going on from 12 noon to 2 p.m. and from 5 until 10:30. This will be taking place ahead of the equipment donation drive, taking place Saturday, July 22nd at the Wonderland of the Americas. So for more information, check out ksatcommunity.com.
921, about 81 degrees.
And coming up next, the latest in Hollywood and which film is taking the top spot at the box office.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 took the top spot at the box office this weekend, but didn't deliver the punch that was expected.
The world's coming after you.
Earning $56.2 million, Paramount was banking on at least a $60 million take.
God's children are not for sale.
Sound of Freedom ascended to number 2, showing the spending power of religious audiences at the box office. The low-budget movie pulling in $27 million.
Are you ready?
Insidious, The Red Door coming in 3rd, taking in $13 million.
Well, I've been looking for this all my life.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny bumps down to 4th place with only $13 million. The red carpet was rolled out, but none of the stars were there for the premiere of Disney's Haunted Mansion this weekend in Anaheim. The SAG-AFTRA strike keeping the actors away. And
it's very bittersweet, but also at the same time, it's not sad because what they're fighting for is so important.
Instead, costumed Disney characters walk the red carpet. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. Dave Packer, ABC News.
In your morning consumer news, Twitter owner Elon Musk is saying the company is losing money. It has seen a 50% drop in advertising revenue, and beside the revenue loss, Twitter is facing a challenge from Meta's new app, Threads. Musk has recently hired a former NBC marketing executive to help turn things around.
Reddit has ditched users' old chats. Histories prior to this year have been removed, much to the surprise of many on the site. There was a one-line warning in an update last month explaining chats from January 1st onward would be migrated to a new chat platform.
A big deal for the gaming community. Reports say that Sony has agreed to a deal with Microsoft, keeping Call of Duty on the PlayStation for the next 10 years. Microsoft makes Call of Duty and the Xbox, which competes directly with Sony's PlayStation. No word yet on how much the deal could be worth.
Time now, 9:26, about 82 degrees. Of course, there is more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including the latest in the 2024 presidential campaign and what happened with Governor Ron DeSantis' campaign that has caused a shakeup.
Stick with us. We have a recap of the Spurs taking on the Thunder to wrap up Summer League play coming up. The current average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage interest rate is higher than 7%, a long way from the 3% we saw during the pandemic.
So what impact are we seeing on the local housing market? As Max Massey reports, Ronnie Trevino with Keller Williams Heritage talked about the changes on Leading SA.
7% mortgage rate for a 30-year fix is really the highest we've seen since 2001. So when Ronnie Trevino joined us, we talked about a lot. We talked about the impact on mortgage rates here at home, on our local sales, if the inflated prices we've seen since the start of the pandemic, if that's sustainable, and what could happen next. Of course, we talked about local trends, where families are moving and where they're building. Here's a bit of our conversation.
The trend that we're seeing now, or that I've been seeing more and more of, is that, another thing to consider is that we saw a 14% decrease in existing home sales, while new construction saw a 36% increase. So we're seeing a lot of younger families go to the far west side, outside 1604, towards the Castroville area. There's a lot of affordable new construction homes that are available for sale there. And a lot of these builders are able to provide great incentives by utilizing their lenders. So a lot of people are seeing this as an affordable option and are taking that route.
And it's not just home sales. We also talked about rental prices as well. You can check out the full conversation with Ronnie Trevino right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. Of course, we have Leading SA every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. So guys, we'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you, Max. Looking out there with live cam, 82, still not too bad. I walked out to my car for some tea that I leave there early in the morning because I'm usually rushing. I go back out to get it, and it's not too bad yet. I can't complain yet.
Well, and she normally orders iced tea, but by the time she gets to the car, of course, it's
Yeah.
It's high tea. It's hot tea.
Of course it is. And it's probably diluted at that point too a little bit, right?
Yeah, I just let the car do the work for me, right?
Exactly. Why not? Yeah, so it wasn't all that bad earlier this morning. Even me just walking out to the car to come here, we did see those thermometers fall below 80 degrees, which is good considering a few times last week we weren't able to make that happen. Now, as we take a look at the dew points, how we measure the moisture in the low levels of the atmosphere, still in the 70s for a good portion of the area, but we have managed to see a little bit more of that drier air mixed into parts of the hill country already. A dew point of 57 out in Rock Springs over there in Edwards County. And I do think we could mix out some of that humid air, see a little bit more drier air move in later on this afternoon, which once again is going to help with those heat index values, but it is still going to be a very hot day with temperatures climbing into the triple digits. Right now, we're already in the 80s, 81 here in town, 82 in Carrizo Springs, it's 83 just off to the southeast there in Cotulla. 83 right now in Kerrville as well. Already seeing the sunshine take back over here in San Antonio and surrounding areas, and into this afternoon, even more sunshine is expected. That is what's going to help boost those temperatures when combined with that heat high still in control. So around 102, that forecast temperature by 3 p.m. We've got a forecast high of 104, but it will likely feel closer to 104 than what we saw last week with those heat index values climbing well above the actual air temperature. Now, this record challenging heat is not going anywhere over the next few days. Still expecting about a 104 degree afternoon high tomorrow and into Wednesday. And then after that, that's when that heat high could move ever so slightly west. We could shave off a degree or two when it comes to those forecast highs. And yes, an isolated rain chance not completely out of the question by the time we get to the back half of the upcoming weekend. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that, plus get you a look at the latest outlook for Saharan dust, because it is the season for that to be a topic as well. So all those details coming your way here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Mia. The city's North St. Mary Street project is underway, which will cause road closures. And today, the intersection of North St. Mary's and East Ashby Place will be partially closed so crews can add new crosswalks to the intersection. Two-way traffic will be maintained. You can expect backup traffic because of the construction equipment and the workers.
This morning, San Antonio police say 2 people were shot on the city's west side overnight. It happened around 3 a.m. in the 6200 block of West Commerce. Now, SAPD says 2 men were at the corner of a property when that shooting happened. One was hit in the leg, the other in the chest. Both were taken to a hospital. Police have not released any information about why the shooting happened or any of the suspects involved.
A man is now in jail after police say he stabbed his father, then led officers on a car chase. This happened Sunday at an apartment complex on Oakdale near West I-10. So that's on the city's northwest side. San Antonio police say the suspect stabbed his father with the kitchen knife and took off in a car. The 60-year-old victim suffered life-threatening injuries, and he was taken to a hospital by a neighbor who saw him stumbling around the apartment complex.
The son approached the father from the rear as the father was doing something in the kitchen. The son stated to him, "I'm sorry," before he stabbed him with a big kitchen knife.
The son was taken into custody after officers found him on Hidden Cross near Les Harrison Drive. It's still not clear what led up to that stabbing.
San Antonio police need your help finding a car involved in a shooting here in San Antonio last month. It happened just after 5 in the morning on June 27th over on the southwest side. Police say the people in this silver sedan shot and hit 2 homes on Dexter Drive. That's just off South General McMullen. Now, there were no injuries, but this is the second time these 2 homes have been shot at in the last 2 months. If you recognize the car, know anything about the shooting incident, please call Crime Stoppers. The number is 210-224-STOP.
There is a new search for evidence in the case against suspected New York serial killer Rex Heuermann. Investigators on Long Island are combing through a storage unit as they build their case against the 59-year-old architect. The married father is accused of killing 3 women more than a decade ago and suspected of killing a 4th. Crime scene detectives were seen at Heuermann's home this past weekend. Sources say that investigators are hoping to find so-called trophies from the victim, such as earrings or locks of hair. The case took a new turn last year when a task force of investigators took a fresh look at the evidence leading to last week's arrest.
The race for the White House is in full swing this summer as Republican candidates spent the weekend in early primary states.
ABC's Emwin has the latest on the major shakeup in Florida as Governor Ron DeSantis' campaign and new insight into where things stand now across the board.
The 2024 presidential race is fired up, now less than 6 months out from the key Iowa caucuses. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis defending a major shakeup and shift in strategy for his campaign after sources say he fired roughly a dozen staffers with more dismissals expected. The team apparently navigating a cash crunch after hiring too many staffers early on.
We raised more money than Donald Trump did into his campaign, who of course was the former president, and yet they try to spin that negatively.
In Florida, GOP frontrunner Donald Trump taunting DeSantis for even entering the race.
And his establishment handlers are wasting such precious time and resources to divide the party.
The former president has yet to commit to the first Republican presidential primary debate in August, something his most vocal challenger, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, called cowardice.
Come on, Donald, get on the stage and defend your record. You know, if you want to be the nominee, you need to defend your record.
This as candidates release their latest fundraising figures. Trump raking in over $15 million, DeSantis with over $20 million, though he relied on big dollar donors. Candidates like Nikki Haley and Tim Scott in the middle of the pack. Christie netting just $1.6 million and Mike Pence at just over $1 million. Each of the GOP hopefuls vying to take on President Biden, who raised close to $20 million in the second quarter. One of his staunchest allies pointing to any third-party candidates as a hindrance after a group formed and is raising money on the idea of a unity ticket.
It is a fool's errand to think that a third party can win in this country. They will be a spoiler.
Biden's campaign closed the quarter with more than $20 million cash on hand, which is about even with Trump and rising GOP hopeful Senator Tim Scott. Emwin, ABC News, Washington.
The Senate has appointed several new judges, including a labor lawyer in the California federal court, a civil rights attorney on Brooklyn's federal court, and a reproduction rights lawyer on Boston appeals court. Officials say they bring more diversity and varied professional experiences to the bench. Jump right into Spurs action. Our Spurs wrapping up their Las Vegas residency with the Thunder this past weekend at Cox Pavilion. The final Sin City games for both sides. Dom Barlow, Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, and Julian Champagnie did not play for the Spurs. First quarter, C.D. Sissoko drives up the lane, gets the layup and the foul. Free throw was good, and the Spurs led 17-9. He had 10 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists. Later on, Sir'Jabari Rice with the ball. Shot clock winding down. Dribbles right, shoots. Nothing but net, and it's 23-11 Spurs. San Antonio led 29-17 after one. Second quarter, more Rice drops in this three for more than 9 of his first half points. And the Spurs lead 53-42 at halftime. All right, third quarter, Spurs still in the lead. Eric Stevenson from beyond the arc. Let's take this shot, and it's good. He led the Spurs with 23 points, making 4 threes. Cue up Sir'Jabari Rice again, creates his own shot, driving the lane, reverse layup. And then in the closing seconds, steals the ball for a slam dunk. And San Antonio led 80-71 after 3. Thunder were tied at 91, all in the fourth. But Spurs hold them off. Javante McCoy breaks the tie with a 3. And right around a minute to go now, the Thunder turn it over. Spurs take it back. McCoy feeds to Charles Bediako, the slam dunk. And that is the icing on the Spurs cake. Spurs win their Las Vegas Summer League. The final score was 98-94. Rice had 13 points and a game-high 4 steals. Malachi, who didn't play last night, was asked what he's been working on during the offseason.
I've been lifting a lot, getting stronger, but also, just being consistent as a shooter and, just getting to my spots. So it's been good.
After Summer League, do you have a little bit of an off season before training camp starts?
Yes, a little bit, yeah. I'm going to Spain, so it should be good.
All right, so Spurs finished the Summer League 5-2 overall. That's 2-0 in Cali, 3-2 in Las Vegas. Now they get to catch their breath, take that little bit of a break, and then right back into the weight room and training and getting ready for the long season, which starts this fall.
They deserve a break, though.
Yes, they do.
All right, time now 9:41 and 82 degrees for now. You're watching GMSA at 9. Country singer Jason Aldean having to run off stage recently. Why the singer had to end his Connecticut show early, still ahead.
What do you say we check in on our flamingos?
Yeah.
Not the one there, just in the animation. All of them.
Let's see how these guys are doing.
Wow, they're enjoying 82 degrees. It's always a great day to go out to the San Antonio Zoo.
Yeah, they look pretty happy, pretty content today.
Early in the day is probably the winning bet.
I would say so. Walking the dog, going out for your morning walk or jog, definitely, because you're right. We've got plenty of sunshine already, and that's just going to help temperatures heat up very quickly later this morning and even more so into the afternoon. So yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I want to talk a little bit about Saharan dust because it has been a big topic on social media over the past week or so. This is a photo that was sent into KSAT Connect yesterday from our friend Taylor McClelland over there at Woodlawn Lake. The caption, very accurate, another hot July sunset with a hint of Saharan dust. You can see that's on the horizon. We had a very light concentration of Saharan dust move through portions of south central Texas over the past few days. That could continue at times today. And even as we head into the middle of this week and into the later portions of this week, just a very light concentration possible. So you might notice a little bit of a haze out there on the horizon. But the good news is it's so light it should not really affect air quality that much. We'll of course continue to keep eyes on it. It's as we head into the beginning of next week that we could potentially find a heavier and thicker concentration move across the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll need to monitor that again really later on this weekend and into this time next week, about 7 to 8 days from now. But until then, it is just going to be the heat that is going to be the main story, not just this Monday, but in the coming days as well. Plenty of sunshine out there right now. 81 degrees, a dew point of 71, so it does feel more like 85. Winds out of the southwest at about 11 miles per hour here in San Antonio. Once again, later on this evening, I think it could get a little breezy out there with some wind gusts upwards of about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Until then, your 12-hour forecast throughout the remainder of this Monday, 102 by 3 p.m., feeling more like 103 to 104. We've got that forecast high around 104 expected for the actual air temperature around 4 to 5 p.m. And then still plenty hot if you're stepping out for any evening plans. Those temperatures slowly falling through the low 100s by about 8 p.m. So just after dinner time, then eventually into the 90s later on tonight. 105 in Pleasanton this afternoon, 104 in Gonzales, 102 in Kerrville, and we've got a forecast high of that century mark off to our northwest in Rock Springs later on today. And remember that heat high pressure still very much in control of our weather pattern here in San Antonio over the next several days. So that forecast high of 104 carries over into tomorrow and Wednesday as well. And then as it starts to move farther off to the west, that temperature trend comes down ever so slightly by the second half of the work week and into the upcoming weekend. But it is still going to be plenty hot out there. And remember, we could get a slight break in the humidity this afternoon, helping with those heat indices, but still, it is going to be a day to practice heat safety. Stay hydrated. Take breaks from the heat if you do have to be outside. Not just here in San Antonio and south central Texas, but across the vast majority of Texas. Heat advisories and excessive heat warnings continue with that dangerous heat still in play. There's that high pressure system right now, keeping us and most of Texas on the drier side. But a little bit of a different story across portions of the Midwest, the Ohio River Valley, some rain and storms moving that way. That's actually where the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted a 1 to even 2 out of 5 risk for some severe weather later on today. That does stretch up into the Central Plains as well. No severe weather expected here in San Antonio, which is the good news. Just wish we were able to find a little bit of rain out there. Pretty much nothing in terms of rain chances throughout the remainder of this week. But as we head into this weekend, remember, we were talking about that high pressure system moving farther west. It loosens its grip on our weather pattern a little bit, which could allow for a quick disturbance to move through the state of Texas. And yes, we've got a 20% chance for a couple of isolated showers to a stray storm, not out of the question. So we'll definitely keep you posted as we monitor all of that in the days ahead, guys.
We're looking forward to that. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah, that's what's not. We got to get through that first.
Okay, get through the records and then the glimmer of hope.
Yes.
All right.
Silver lining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. Baptist Health System opened their 9th neighborhood hospital today.
And this specific location will help serve people who live in Converse. This facility is just like a big hospital, but smaller and easier to get to for people living in Converse. And just like a big hospital, this neighborhood one is accredited and has a working emergency room. They can do imaging, and it is in network with most insurance providers.
These can take for your everyday emergencies and put them, right in your neighborhood.
President of North Central Baptist Hospital, Bill Wechter, says having a smaller hospital located in Converse will make it easier for paramedics to make more calls and get more people the help they need.
This will allow the EMS provider to get back in service and ready for their next call a little bit quicker because they've got a closer place that they can take some of their patients to.
This neighborhood hospital is located at 6491 Woodlake Parkway in Converse. To read more about the hospital and what it has to offer, head over to our website at ksat.com.
And time now is 9:51 and 83 degrees for now.
Next, Taylor Swift not only taking cities by storm with her Eras Tour, she's also helping out the economy. We'll tell you more about that after the break. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour has taken cities across the country by storm since it started, and the Federal Reserve said it's also boosting our country's economy. Chicago officials say Swift's concert there back in June helped them set an all-time record for most hotel rooms occupied. Swift recently extended her tour, announcing dates in South America, Asia, Europe, and more.
Country singer Jason Aldean is recovering after a heat-related medical incident on Saturday, causing him to end his concert early in Connecticut. Now, it was a combination of dehydration and heat exhaustion. The singer says he received IVs and is feeling a lot better. Now, the show will be rescheduled for some time in the future. And the second annual KSAT Pigskin Classic will kick off on August 25th and the 26th at the Alamodome. Tickets are on sale right now on Ticketmaster or the Alamodome box office.
But if you're a super fan, please consider upgrading to a luxury suite so you don't miss a second of all the action. Suites are available for the Friday game or all day for Saturday's 3 games.
And you can book a suite by calling the Alamodome directly.
All right, let's get you one final look at those temperatures that are already cranking up in and around San Antonio. 84 now over at the airport. Same on the south side at Stinson. It's 84 in Gonzales, 81 in New Braunfels, and 83 in Hondo. Plenty of sunshine and that high pressure in control this afternoon, which means another triple-digit day expected. We've got a forecast high around 104 degrees. And that heat's not going anywhere, at least over the next 48 hours, and then maybe coming down ever so slightly by the second half of the work weekend this weekend. And that's also when we'll monitor for that isolated chance for rain, especially by Sunday.
Okay, 20%. That is an isolated.
It is nice, especially after what we've been through the past week or so.
But it looks great on the graphic.
It does. It sure does.
Thank you so much.
Mix things up a bit.
Yeah. Have a great day, guys.